right now. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we are. We were on mute. It's all good. Welcome to the Pray Your Mind Inc. podcast. And seeing how things go, it's kind of like trial and error. So it's all good.
There we go.
But y'all know how we do. We jump right into things. But before we do, we're going to do a little will be an amazing day. Today will be an awesome day. Today will be stress free. Today will be a stress-less day. Today, all things will line up and work for my good. I am an overcomer. I am triumphant. I am victorious. I take authority over this day. I will dominate this day. And everything I've affirmed on this day will happen because I am more than a conqueror. Let's get it started. So we're talking NFL season today. And as most of you know, we actually heard from a lot of our viewers and listeners that they like we talk about sports. So we figured, give the people what they want. You know what I mean? You know, who was it? Jalen Rose said, give the people what they want. So we're going to talk sports. That's what we're going to do. Now, sports is a mindset. Let's not get that twisted. Sports is a mindset. So all athletes have to have a mindset of, a mindset to want to win, a mindset to want to work hard, a mindset to want to help get others better, a mindset to tolerate some pain, you know what I mean? And a mindset to maybe tolerate a little less pay than what you had before. So, but let's jump right into this. So we're going to jump into the main topic of the offseason, and that is the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers to the New York Jets. We got other topics we're going to talk about today. We're going to jump into that one first because the Jets have been the talk of the town since Aaron Rodgers got there.
Sure.
And I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't feeling the Jets.
I ain't either.
At all. Because I'm like, look, you got Aaron Rodgers. That's great. You got these great wide receivers. You just acquired my man from Minnesota as a running back. Offensive line is still in question. We get that. The defense, though, is legit. We will say the defense is legit. Mm-hmm. Offensively, I have learned over the years that when you have all these pieces on paper, you got to put it on the field and perform. And so my thoughts are the Jets look good on paper. Can you put it together on the field? And how long is it going to take you to get it together on the field? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
So I'll start. Man, my thoughts about the Jets, like I said, I'm not feeling the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, it's not Green Bay anymore, brother. And also, who's to say he won't just fall off the face of the earth? Because Brady retired. They're kind of like two peas in a pod. So he might get old overnight. You know what I mean? So I think they got a shot to be okay, but I can't see them going over 500. If was it be 9-7?
10-7? Yeah, 17 games, 10-7.
10-7.
Okay.
Or 9-8.
9-8.
I can see something like that, but I'm not rooting for him. I know they just drafted a guy last year that was the second pick overall at quarterback, and now we have him in place of it. Mm-hmm. And his reputation says that he does not like to train the young guys because Brett Favre did him wrong when he was younger.
Right.
So I don't know if they got him to come in there to take over and help bring this guy we drafted last year along, or is he there to take him to the promised land?
Gotcha.
I don't agree with. I don't know. But they're definitely not going to the promised land.
Gotcha. Denise?
All right. First and foremost, let's just say everyone knows I'm from New York, and I've never been a New York fan of any football team. So let's get that out the window there. Never in football. I agree with O and Zimbabwe. I'm giving them a shot and say they're gonna have a good season, but I don't see it being more than probably 9-8 or 7-9, 7-10. See, I give the extra number, 7-10.
So she's going the opposite way. She's going under 500. Yeah. He's going above 500, but not too far.
Yeah, I like Aaron Rodgers, but not. That was a bad trade to me.
Well, I will say this. It looks like New York got the better of the trade as far as them acquiring Aaron Rodgers. Now, I will say this. The Jets needed a quarterback
for sure
to get where they're trying to go.
Agreed.
And I will say this. Whether Aaron Rodgers teaches, the other guys or not, Zach Wilson or not, the contract he has with them, it's like, look, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. That's the bottom line. And it's for me, if that happens, or once that happens, Aaron Rodgers is going to run off in the sunset and say, all right, I'm good. Yeah. I got my Super Bowl. And that's going to be it.
Right.
People are kind of crowning them as like the team in the AFC to go to the NFL Super Bowl. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you got the Chiefs, you got the Bengals,
the
Dolphins. You've got let's just throw in the Ravens, possibly the Chargers. You've got possibly the Broncos just got Sean Payton as a coach, which could definitely change how that looks out. What I mean? Like the AFC is loaded with teams.
Yes.
So you can't really just say, oh, they got Aaron Rodgers, let's crown them champion. Because Aaron Rodgers has gotten bounced out of the playoffs the past 3 years.
Yes,
well, and last year, they had a chance to go to the playoffs. Who did they lose to? The Detroit Lions.
Yes.
At the end of the season.
Yes.
At home, only scoring 10 points. Now, granted, it wasn't the Green Bay Packer team he had before, but it's like you're playing Detroit at home in the frozen tundra. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't score more than 10 points to beat this team.
I know.
Now, again, as my man Stephen A. Smith says, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. But again, I got to see it on the field because right now, preseason, he's not playing that much. He's going to play against the Giants.
Right.
Preseason is the last game. But I don't see just out the gate the Jets as being like, okay, that's the team to beat. Like, no, it's kind of like, no, y'all got to actually prove y'all can play in this AFC that's loaded with quarterbacks that's ready to go.
Right.
So that's just how I see it from get-go. So, and don't get me wrong, the coach he's a great coach. He's a no nonsense. And here's the other thing too. They're on Hard Knocks, so you kind of get some unlimited access to the team.
Right.
And I'm like, how much of this is acting, and how much of this is real?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And Aaron Rodgers, I'm kind of like, is he acting or is this real stuff? Now I give him credit.
Yeah.
Took a pay cut. I give him credit for that because that opens up the floodgates for more talent to come in, which also lets me know, hey, because I'm not sure if Green Bay is still paying him or not. I'm not sure. I don't have that information.
Yeah, I don't know how
But because he did sign that huge contract, and then he got traded, and now I'm kind of like, okay, how does that work? I'm not sure. But he took a pay cut, got more pieces in. He's kind of reminds me of a player/coach kind of person.
For sure.
Because he had say in who was going to be there.
For sure.
He didn't get all the pieces that he wanted, but he got a good amount.
Right.
Offensive line, again, is another question. But Aaron Rodgers being 39 years old, going on 40, he kept me back there running for his life at age 39.
Right.
He's not Tom Brady, and Tom Brady wasn't a good runner. Tom Brady just took care of his body and had good offensive lines.
Right.
So that's how that worked out. So we'll see. We'll see. Any other comments on the Jets?
Just to tie it into the name of the show, of Frame of Mind, right? So I'm a firm believer in culture. Like, so there's a losing culture at the Jets. So there got to be a mindset changed from the top down. I don't care who you get on the team. I don't care. You can bring in the best players for the last 10 years. If the culture is still losing, they're going to lose. So somebody got to change that mindset. Yeah. Apparently, they think they got the coach to do it, and we'll see. 9-7 or 9-8.
9-8.
You heard it here first.
9-8.
You heard it.
Denise said 7-10.
7-10.
I have no prediction on their record. I just don't see them going to Super Bowl.
Right.
They may make the playoffs. It's going to be tough though, because the AFC again is loaded with teams, and you got Buffalo, Miami, and the Patriots in your division.
Right.
Only 2 teams are going to make the playoffs in that division. That's it.
Right.
So if it ain't the Jets and somebody else,
right,
you're going to be on the outside looking in real early. So you're going to have to be, you got to get it going early. So we'll see. I do predict that I believe Miami or Buffalo can win that division.
That's right. Yeah.
But Buffalo, I don't know. I got question marks on Buffalo too right now, because from what I understand, Stephon Diggs wants to leave.
Already?
Yep.
He wants to leave. So if that happens, that offense is tremendously taking a tremendous step back. So it hasn't been confirmed. Now, it's not like we don't know if that's true or not. We've just heard that Stephon Diggs wants to leave, and that's going to be a problem for Josh Allen, because he's pretty much the only weapon he has on offense, besides the other receiver, which I forget who his name is, but he's also legit. He's not Diggs, but he's legit. But when you get rid of your number 1 and your number 2 is not as good, that creates a problem on offense. Now, they get Von Miller back on defense, which was one of the reasons they couldn't get past the Bengals last year. But again, just question marks as far as. But Miami, I give Miami a legit chance to win that division.
Yeah.
All dependent upon if Tua stays healthy.
Right.
If not, that could be a problem as well. So there's question marks all over the place in that division. The Patriots, I'm not really concerned about them in that division. I'm not concerned. I think they'll be better to a degree because now they have a better offensive coordinator. You don't have an offensive coordinator calling offensive plays, which was like a death trap for the Patriots on offense. So that's that. Next, we're going to kind of shift gears. Well, no, let's say for the second half.
Yeah.
Let's go to still in the AFC. We're going to go with the Bengals division, where you have the Ravens, the Browns, and the Steelers. Now, me being a Bengals fan, those of you who all know, talked about culture, right?
Yeah.
That culture changed dramatically. Number 1, after Marvin Lewis left.
Yes, it did.
And then acquiring Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor as the coach. Then you got Jamar Chase and a couple other guys that came in. So you kind of got rid of the quote-unquote riffraff, and you brought in a different mindset, a different culture. The Bengals would have been in the AFC Championship game 3 years in a row if Joe Burrow had gotten hurt. I agree. Now, I'm not saying we go Super Bowl all 3 years, but they probably would have been in that AFC title game 3 years in a row. So right now, in my mind, them and the Chiefs are the teams to beat, because the past 2 years they battled it out in the AFC title game. So that's my thing. As far as that division goes, the Steelers, they're rebuilding. Cleveland has Deshaun Watson back. Can he get back to what he was a couple years ago in Houston? The Ravens, they got it on paper. Can they put it on the field? I have yet to be a believer that Lamar Jackson can come through in the clutch. That's my question mark, man. Can you come through when the game's on the line to get it done and not turn the ball over?
Right.
That's my thing with him.
Right.
But we see what the Bengals have done. I'm not blowing that up because that's my team, but it's just, facts are just facts. Like they have the team. The Bengals' main Achilles heel is the offensive line,
right? Which
I think has gotten better since last year. As we'll see how that pans out as well. Joe Burrow is set to play for the first game of the season. We'll see if he's 100% or not, but we'll see how that goes. What are you guys' thoughts on that division as far as the AFC? Again, the AFC is the NFC. We really got to talk about. It's really, you got 3 teams. You got the Eagles, Dallas, San Fran. You can throw another team in there if you want to. I'm not sure that. Maybe Minnesota.
No, there you go. You got it.
And then Detroit could be that wild card that is on the upper coming. Other than that, the NFC is like whatever. So the AFC is like the conference to look out for. So
let me give my 2 cents on the AFC. I think a lot of the AFC is going to go through. I'm gonna tie this into basketball. You know the Jordan years where Barkley didn't win one, Ewing didn't win one. Who else didn't win one?
Olajuwon didn't win one.
Reggie Miller didn't win one. Yep. Olajuwon did.
But after Jordan retired, he retired.
So this is what I'm thinking. Mahomes is Jordan. and all them other guys, Barkley, Ewing, and the rest of them they're gonna try to take him out. And like you said, you would have been there 3. They put you guys out how many times?
We've been there twice,
and they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
right?
They lost one, they won one.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I think they might be running in. Jordan is here in the NFL, and his name's Pat Mahomes.
Okay,
and I think it's gonna be hard to get rid of him. So I think the AFC gonna have to run through them until like the next maybe 5-6 years.
Okay,
so that's my opinion on the AFC.
Okay,
and I think even if Mahomes say he gets hurt, Kelsey's he's gonna step up and say, "Hey, I'm not letting just because my brother's out. You think this game is still on the line?" Exactly. So I don't. Exactly. Even to say I'm not wishing it on Mahomes. So if you listen to this, Mahomes, I'm not wishing bad on you, but I'm just saying, your boy Kelsey, he's got your back.
He got
That's
your
all
back.
I'm say.
Yeah.
So.
Now we can say that. Now let's put this into perspective. So Mahomes, let's say he happens to get hurt, right? That happens. You still got Kelsey. Can the backup quarterback get the ball to Kelsey?
I don't even know who he is.
Exactly. I have no idea who the backup quarterback is
for
Kansas City Chiefs.
Mahomes.
You know what I mean? So Kelsey, he can still be there and ball out, but can the backup quarterback get the ball to Kelsey to still be able to be that guy? You know what I mean? And so that's a question mark. Yeah. But again, we don't even know who the backup quarterback is for the Kansas City Chiefs. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like you said, he's the Jordan of the NFL. With the AFC outside. Of the AFC, and then when Jordan came in off the bench, it's who came in for Jordan when he came off the bench? We don't remember who that was. Was it Greg Hodges? Was it? I don't know. You know what I mean? So and whoever came in, they were there for a short time, and Jordan came back in. It was it. Just give him a breather, and that's it. Came back in. So we don't even know the backup. Listen, I'm a Bengals fan, and other than the guy they got from the AFL. I don't know who the backup quarterback was in Cincinnati, except for when they had McCarron from Alabama, but he went on to somewhere else. He figured I can play somewhere else. Why stay here and keep getting the boot? So you know what I mean. So I don't know. A lot of these teams that these quarterbacks in the AFC, you don't know who the backup quarterback is because they don't play. Right. They don't play. That's true. Because these guys are playing all the games. Of course, Burrow got hurt that one year, and I don't even know who played here. To be honest, no, I think it was McCarron. He played that year, I believe. I believe McCarron played that year that Burrow got hurt his first year. Okay. And then after that, Burrow came back and it was you didn't see McCarron anymore. Okay. So again, we'll see. You got the AFC West. You got the Broncos. You got the Chargers. You got the Raiders. You've got what's the last team in that division? Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. It'll come back to us. Right. But if we're not thinking about the Chiefs. Chiefs. There you go. Chiefs. The Chiefs. So, again, I see 2 teams coming out of each conference at the most.
On the AFC or
on the AFC side.
AFC side. Okay.
2 at most coming out of each division. Right. The Chiefs. You can pick somebody else you want. I don't know. Right now, you can say Chargers maybe. Right. I think Chargers are up and coming. Yeah. With Justin Herbert. Yeah. The Broncos are having Sean Payton as a quarterback. If they give him a chance,
coach.
Yes, the coach. I'm sorry, but I got to see how Russell Wilson's going to play.
I think he's still developing.
Yeah.
He's still I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but I think he's still transitioning out of working in Seattle. Now he's all right. Denver, a new time zone, and new everything.
I got you.
So now I have to adjust, but I won't say he's going to be a terrible season. Right. He's just developing.
And granted, last year, there were some coaching issues in Denver as well, so we give that benefit of the doubt. But it look on the outside looking in, it's kind of Dad, you playing like this, right? You Russell Wilson, right? You know what I mean? So. Right. I'm you got to see, Sierra got to come out there and, make an appearance. Come on now. So, then we got, who's in LA? Who's at the Raiders now quarterback? I'm not remember because I know Carr went to New Orleans, so that's a different story. But the Raiders
have Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Garoppolo.
Porn-star Jimmy, right? Porn-star Jimmy. So. San Fran, we don't have it without San Fran, so it's kind of all right. If he can't survive with the Raiders, he is going to be hard to survive because that's a hard crowd to play in front of.
But he got a good guy to throw to, so
he does. He does. He got the ball to Devontae Adams, and he wasn't very happy with Carr last year. They were college buddies, and he wanted to get the ball to him.
He wasn't quite it.
So hopefully they'll fix that in preseason, and they'll be able to get him the ball to make some things happen because. he's a bad dude too. You know what I mean? So, and last year you couldn't tell because he wouldn't get the ball.
Exactly.
You know, so it kind of reminds me of Julio Jones in Atlanta when he had, like they couldn't get the ball. It's like, man, you can't get Julio Jones the ball.
Yeah.
You know? So we'll see. So we're gonna take a little break here. We'll come back. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little college football. We're gonna talk a little prime time. And that means Deion Primetime Sanders in the University of Colorado, and see how that's going to go down this year. Because of things that are happening over there between Jackson and Colorado, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Fan My Name podcast. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for an apparel company that's positive, uplifting, and truly cares about you? Then look no further. Frame of Mind Inc., an apparel brand company, impresses on individuals to think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. Get positive apparel, such as t-shirts, hoodies, and wristbands for children, teens, and adults in various colors and sizes. Customized services include logo and t-shirt design, screen printing, and embroidery for individuals, families, schools, profit, and nonprofit organizations. You can reach Frame of Mind Inc. at 302-689-3499 or visit their website at www.frameofmindinc.com. Frame of Mind Inc. Think it, speak it, achieve it.
Hey, there we are. All right, so we're back. Second half, we're talking about first half, NFL. Now we're going into college. So, primetime Deion Sanders. Colorado, he's out there making moves, talking a lot of smack. But, prime time, that's what he does. He talks smack, but he also backs it up. Mm-hmm. The only thing is, it ain't him playing. It's his players playing. So, as we know, some players from Jackson State transferred to Colorado. Some players from Colorado left and went other places. Mm-hmm. One statement that Primetime made was that all y'all ain't going to make this team. He made that very clear. So, with Jackson State losing some players, Colorado losing some players, including their star player as well, who transferred out.
Yep.
What are the expectations on Primetime Deion Sanders to deliver in Colorado, and is there a timeline for him to deliver as well?
So I think he's going to deliver this season. First couple of games are going to be an adjustment because this is a whole different team and new players from Georgia, from everywhere across. Even they have players from London playing. Yeah. So it's going to be an adjustment this season, but I think it's going to be a good adjustment for the team in learning how to play with each other. Also, I'm giving the record. They're gonna have a good, clean record. I'm not gonna say a whole.
Not undefeated.
Not undefeated, but I'm gonna say they have a good season. I know, like TCU, they're gonna bring it right out the bat.
A bowl season.
Yeah, definitely a bowl season.
Okay.
Definitely a bowl season, especially with Shador, his son, being the quarterback.
Okay.
And if you watch Shador in like the videos, he can read the field well. Right. He's quick to throw. He's quick to eye the field. Where's everybody at? All his players. So I think they're gonna have a great team.
Okay.
I think so. Realistically, you got to give him 3 years.
Okay.
But the media is not going to allow that to happen. Right. He's been talking about putting up or shutting up. Right. He's walking around with a cowboy hat on, and
he's making happen.
He's out in the open, pretty much saying, "We're going to do it right now." And you said, 45 guys? Transfer, you said about
45 guys.
So 45 guys. So, like I said, realistically, he got to get 3 because you got to get 1 recruiting year. But now that he got all these guys, he pretty much got his recruiting year from the start. So I'll say the media will only allow him to lose 1 year, but realistically, she should probably give him 3.
Right.
But I think he could make not a Pro Bowl, but a bowl year. Okay. He can make a bowl. Okay. I don't think that division is too tough.
Yeah.
I think it's the Big 12. Are they Big 12 or
Pac? Are they Pac? Might be Pac, I believe.
Okay, yeah, it's not too many tough teams over there like that. So I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
because I like Prime.
Right.
I feel like he's good for the game. I think he's good for college. I don't disagree with the move he made from Jackson State. I know that was a big deal when he did it, but I think a bowl year is in place, and like I said, he should get 3, but they're not going to be too lenient.
So you know that
He got to win now.
Yeah,
yeah.
I will say I agree with you on the conferences aren't that strong, but all the movement in college where teams are now wanting to go. We want to go to the Big Ten.
Right.
We want to go to the SEC. It's like these regions are getting really ridiculous and crazy.
Right.
And with them being, I think it's the Pac-12, whatever they're in, it's kind of like it's not really going to be that tough. But the question is then, okay, what's your schedule outside of their conference?
Right.
And then is it a strong schedule as that? You know what I mean? How strong is your schedule going to be? So I think they get a bowl. I don't think it'll be a significant one, but I think they'll get one. On top 10.
Okay.
They might get top 25. But again, that may be due to the schedule. If they have a stronger schedule, I might be like, all right, if they don't perform as well, it's still a building time, but you might get it again a year because now you got transfer portal that's allowed you to kind of build.
Yep.
And so soon,
you
know what I mean? And so now, you know, I think if he didn't talk as much, he would have had more of a chance.
It would give him grace.
But because he talks so much, it's kind of like, all right, well, you said put up a shutout. Yeah. We gonna hold you to that. You know what I mean? Now Colorado may say, look, we'll give you 3 years because it's prime. Yeah. The media gonna say, well, you had a down year this year. What you gonna do next year?
Right.
And if it happens 2 years in a row, it's kind of like, well, evidently, I guess he ain't that good.
Right.
Blah 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 blah. Again, I think they'll be a top 25 team. If they're not, I think they still get a bowl. I mean, top 25, normally you get a bowl in top 25.
You can get a bowl
if you're not, you'll be, but it won't be as significant.
Right.
If they don't get a bowl, I will hold it against. The question is, did you get better as the season went on?
Right.
And then can you capitalize on that going into the next season?
Right.
So, and what year? His son, is he a freshman, sophomore? His son?
So, Shador is I believe a sophomore.
Okay.
When he transferred. And then his other son, Shiloh.
Oh, Shiloh's
he just transferred because he just finished at Jackson State.
Okay.
So he transferred because he had a year of eligibility.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so now he's bringing. He said his Louis luggage, and that's his son.
Okay.
Shiloh. So now Shiloh's here. So I'm
you told
I'm ready. I'm excited. But I understand. He's gonna bring it. I'm telling you, he's gonna bring it. He's gonna bring it. And if not, I feel like even in the middle of the season, Deion's gonna be like, all right, this person's not doing this person's recruit. Yeah. Let's do something next season.
So I mean, I believe in him. I think too that he is a no nonsense guy.
Right.
It's not like, look, like I like you, but you ain't cutting it. Like I'm sorry.
I believe
you know. My question is though, this is a good question. I believe if his son's not cutting it, where does he go from there? Playing quarterback. I'm just. You think he's cutting him?
He's cutting.
I think.
Or if not cut him, or he sit him down and put somebody else.
I think he would bench his son.
Okay.
He talks too much not to bench him.
Yeah.
Like he talks about putting up, let him play. So he came in there and pretty much weeded out.
Yeah.
The entire Colorado team. So
now I'll say this: there is big expectations at the university because if you looked at their spring season last year as opposed to this year. Last year it was hardly anybody in the stands. This year they packed it out.
Single season.
All because
season, everything.
It's sold out.
A prime time.
They're going to be on TV.
You know what I mean? Oh, definitely. So again, a name can bring anything to the table. Question is, can that name deliver? You know what I mean? So
the name don't play.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Now,
but I'm rooting for him.
We're us still talking about college and transition back to NFL real quick before we end out. I'm a Michigan guy. I'm a Michigan fan. Jim Harbaugh has been suspended, right?
Why?
Well, there's been some dabbing, I guess he's done with recruiting or whatever.
Okay.
And so what happened initially was the NCAA initially said, okay, the first 4 games of the season he's suspended. And it's kind of like he can coach the practice, but he can't coach on Saturdays.
Okay.
And everybody was like, that don't make no sense. So they said, okay, they were doing it. The university said the first 3 games are suspended.
4 games
in the university.
Okay.
He could still practice with the team, but he couldn't coach the game. It's kind of like, well, it still doesn't make any sense that he can coach all week long, but can't coach the game. in the first 3 games, they're not playing the competition. They're playing the teams that they normally should beat.
Right.
So kind of like, well, what's the point of doing that if you still get to coach throughout the week? You know what I mean? And I'm kind of like, well, in my head, I was like, that was Deion.
Right.
Would that still be the same thing? It was kind of like, well, we got to do this because you did that.
Right.
And listen, we're not here to make things racial talk, but these are real situations.
It matters.
You know what I mean? And so, and with Jim Harbaugh, it just seems like, wow, like, doesn't make sense. Either you coach or you can't coach. Like, it's that simple.
Right.
If that were Deion, were to be the same kind of, or any other African American coach, do we think that would be the case, depending on who it is? Because the university did, they did it because the NCAA took it away. So the NCAA can't really blame them for that. They said, no, forget it, we're not going to do that. That just seems. And then Michigan said, the university said, no, we're going to spend it for 3 games. But Colorado been like, you know what, Deion, first 3 games, you can't coach because X, Y, Z. I believe not.
I don't believe so either. Yeah, I don't.
Because to a large degree, they need Deion.
He's the money man, man.
You know what I mean? Now, the NCAA might have said, we're going to give you 4 games, then they might have already done it, possibly. Or they might have said, no, we're going to have to make sure this comes down, X, Y, Z. But the university's been like, nah, we coaches. Because we need to win those first 3 games. Because we go 0-3, that puts you in the hole, or now you got to dig yourself out of it. And they're highly invested in him being their coach. Exactly. I just kind of want to throw that out there. That's all. Being a Michigan fan, I felt a little sorry about it. It was kind of like, this didn't make sense to me.
I understand.
That they did that. That's all.
I understand.
NFL predictions. Who do we have going to the Super Bowl on the AFC and the NFC? Now, okay, we know what we got going. We know, okay. All right. I am going to stick with my Bengals. And I believe out of the past 2 years, we're the team that has their number. Outside of the Texans.
I agree.
The Texans just can't get beyond where they are. That's all. We have their number. They beat us the first year. Second year, we got them. Third year, they got. So it's kind of like it's been back and forth. So I'm gonna stick with the Bengals. And in the NFC, man, it's number one. I don't believe in Dallas when it comes to playoff time. Yeah. All right, you got San Fran and the Eagles.
That's it.
I'm really going to lean towards the Eagles again because San Fran, they got Purdy. He's their guy. Like, he's their guy. He is. And here's the thing too: if San Fran had been healthy in that game, it would have been a much more competitive game. Okay. They just got obliterated by not having their quarterback. It's like they lost 2 quarterbacks. McCaffrey tried. Purdy came back. It's like y'all and they were like, it was pretty much saying we're just gonna play for pride. Right. We're not gonna quit. They did. And it's kind of like the game was over. Mm-hmm. So if those teams make it back to the NFC Championship game, I give the Eagles an edge.
Okay.
But I do not. It's like it's Eagles 1A, San Fran 1B. Like either team could go.
I got you.
You know what I mean? So I give the Eagles an edge, but I say Bengals, Eagles. That could have happened last year.
Yeah.
Bengals just didn't get over the hump, so it could have easily been that way last year. So that's my pick.
All right. Well, I'll go. So I'll start AFC. I'll say, I'm gonna just stir it up a little bit. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the Dolphins for the AFC. I believe the Dolphins got a lot of power. If my man can stay healthy, they're gonna put up 30 points a game. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna be hard. You got to score with them. Mm-hmm. So if you can't score with them, I think you're gonna have
kind of like that Dan Marino, Clayton kind of days.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And like NFC, I'll pull us out the hat. Is it in? Oh yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'll pull us out the hat,
right.
And I'll say, if I pulled us out the hat, I'll go San Fran.
Okay.
San Fran is about the only other team that I think can get there. Because I'm a fan of pedigree. I mean, the guy, he's Mr. Irrelevant, isn't he?
Yeah.
He was Mr. Irrelevant for a reason. They're trying to act like if he was healthy with the Eagles, it would have been a different stuff. Like, stop, right? Like, enough, right? Like, his injury was not it.
Right.
Like, he would have got sacked 8 more times.
Right.
But all right, I'll leave it there. But I'll go San Fran if I take us out the hat.
Okay.
But I can't do that. So we got the Eagles versus the Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. Denise,
I'm sticking with the Eagles versus the Chiefs.
Okay.
You're going repeat.
Repeat.
Okay.
I think Hurts. Well, first of all, back up. In the recruiting season, the Eagles drafted so many Georgia Bulldogs that they weren't playing around. And Sirianni is like more head on his shoulders now, secure, like, let's go. Now with Mahomes, I feel like he's not playing again. Like, he's like, let's do this again.
Let's go back.
Let's go back. He's like, what's stopping us from doing this again? When we're healthy, Kelsey's healthy, Reed is doing his thing. So it's like, what's stopping us to do this again? Our players are good. And then Hurts, he's like, I'm more empowered than ever. He just signed that Jordan deal.
I know.
So now that's even more fire to his fuel. Like, oh, I got a Jordan deal. I got more people behind me.
Right.
Let's do it. So
it can happen. So now we can feel free to revisit this, during the season where players start getting hurt. It's kind of like, all right, well, we might have to rethink this. One thing we're not saying are the New York Jets. I just don't think they're going to go.
No.
They may make the playoffs. They may not. We'll see how things go. We're not big fans on that. We don't wish any ill will on anyone. It's just look at the reality of it. It's kind of like you got to put it on paper and translate that to the field, and we got to see that happen with the New York Jets. It's going to be a great season. AFC is going to be fun to watch because it almost feels like 90s or 80s football again. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of excited to watch again. I'm sure you guys are as well.
Yes.
Again, before we go, any last things you want to leave with anybody? Any last thoughts? Other than our picks, go ahead, Denise. You have something you want to do.
So I'm going to say with the Jets, for them to be as equally good, they need to strip their whole, from front office on down to the team on the field. Strip it, start over, come up with a new recruiting plan, clean it up, just like the Yankees. Clean it up and start over.
All right. Oh, yeah.
I got one last thing to say. Birds.
And my last thing is, who they? So for all you listeners, you can always catch the podcast on audio-wise on Spotify, Apple. You can catch it on Amazon Music or anywhere podcasts are audio-wise. As far as video portions, you can catch our video portions on Wednesdays on my Facebook page, my LinkedIn page, and our business YouTube page, Frame of Mind Inc. Channel on YouTube. And always you can contact us between phone number 302-689-3499. Again, 302-689-3499. Or through email at fpodcast@frameofmindinc.com. Again, fpodcast@frameofmindinc.com. Continue to think and speak and achieve it. And until next time, myself, and Denise, we holla. Peace.
How long we do it?
Thank you for joining the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And as always, here at Frame of Mind Inc., think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. As our tagline says, think it, speak it, achieve it. See you next time.
It's a frame of mind. It's what you say and what you do.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.frameofmindinc.com, where you can browse our online apparel store, listen to some of our original music and production services, as well as view our videos and projects we've done for our clients and customers.